In this video, we're going to talk about the writing module and just get a better understanding of the two tasks that we need to attempt for the writing test. So the two tasks in the writing module are task 1 and task 2. Task 1, if you're doing the general training, it's going to be a letter. And if you're doing the academic, it's going to be a summary of a report, a summary and a report of a graph or a pie chart or something like that. This task should only take you about 20 minutes. Task 2 for the IELTS involves writing an essay of about 4 to 5 paragraphs in 40 minutes. This is the task 2 that you would have to do for the exam. So for both the academic and the general training, and for both the tasks, you need to use academic or formal language only. You need to avoid using slang, any kind of texting language. None of that is acceptable. So writing BT for but or saying dude, those sort of words are not acceptable for any part of the writing module. Divide your essay into paragraphs. This is really essential because this will help in the flow of the essay. So you'll have an introduction paragraph, paragraph 1, 2, if you need a third paragraph talking about the different ideas to justify your point, and a concluding paragraph. Your ideas should be logically connected and should have a flow and an order to it. So do not repeat the same words over and over, or even the same idea using different words. Avoid broad generalizations and try and take a neutral or thoughtful tone. So instead of saying, for example, if your question says, it's better for children to study at home, to be homeschooled, rather than children going to a formal school outside of the home for education. So if that's your question, so don't just make a statement like, all children have to be homeschooled because that's the only way possible that they're going to learn and be educated. So just try and be neutral about it. So if it's an opinion question, you just have to say, in my opinion, children learn better and have a well-rounded education if they are trained and taught at home. So just be a bit tentative with your language. So remember that you need to spend more time on task 2. Now, why do you need to spend more time on task 2? Well, for one, task 1 is only a third of your score and you have to only write 150 words. Whereas for task 2, it contributes to 2/3 of your score and the word count is a lot more. You have to write at least 250 words. So obviously task 2 is longer and it counts more towards your overall writing band score. So which is why, if possible, even if you have a little bit more than 40 minutes, that's going to give you that little bit extra time to edit your essay. So you do need to spend more time on task 2. So the marking criteria for the IELTS as put forth by the people who wrote the test, the first thing that they'll mark you on is task achievement. Have you answered the question? The other one is coherence and cohesion. So this basically talks about the flow. Is there a connectivity between the ideas? Is there a logical argument that you're trying to get to? And if you get all of that right. And obviously using vocabulary, showcasing different words, and your vocabulary contributes to a better score under the lexical resource category. And obviously grammar being accurate. You have to write proper English and good English. So this is the marking criteria. So how do you make the most of your writing test? The first thing that we're going to see is that you need to analyze each question properly. Plan your answers. Spend as much time as possible to make notes, okay? Think of whatever, as soon as you get your question paper, read the question and quickly make notes. Put all your thoughts into your head around that topic. Once you've done that, then you'll be able to choose the best points to use for your essay. So after you've read your essay, I highlight and underline the keywords so that you know and you keep focused on the task at hand. As we said earlier, use paragraphs. Put each idea in a paragraph. Later on in another video, we'd look at what a good IELTS paragraph looks like. So the next thing, try not to repeat the same idea using different words. So you need to just try and showcase your vocabulary well. Don't copy whole sentences from the question. Obviously, you will not receive a mark, and sometimes it just shows negatively on your paper. So instead, paraphrase the question. Well, keep to the topic, as we said, be focused, and try not to write about anything unrelated. Learn to manage your time properly, because that's a crucial part about the IELTS exam. Spend approximately 20 minutes on task 1 and 40 minutes on task 2. Always keep an eye on the clock. Pay attention to the number of words required for each task. You have to write at least, the minimum is 150 words for task 1 and 250 words for task 2. And also, as you practice, learn to recognize what 150 and 250 words looks like in your handwriting. Okay. And the last thing, you must write your answers in full. So no short forms, no bullet points. You just have to write in full, complete sentences. Pay attention to your spelling and your grammar and punctuation. Although there is no negative marking in general in the IELTS, if you don't obviously meet the criteria, you will lose marks for those mistakes. Try not to use any informal language and be as academic as possible in your writing and formal. Don't memorize model answers, because examiners are taught to pick out model answers, or if you've memorized anything, you would actually lose points for that. Spend as much time as possible towards the end, a couple of minutes, editing your essay. I cannot stress enough how important it is to edit your essay. Edit, edit, edit. It makes a difference between a band 7 and a band 8 score. So take that time to edit your essays. You might have made spelling mistakes or careless grammatical errors or repeated words. So having that time to reread your essay and to edit those mistakes is invaluable.